Please bear with us because of that little break in transmission. Good morning and welcome to the 8th regular meeting of the National Council on Cooperative Affairs, Ncca, with the theme Revitalizing Nigeria's Cooperative Sector, a catalyst for inclusive growth and sustainable national development under the Renewed Hope Agenda, holding here at Ncca Luxury Hotels Central Business District. This landmark has makers, regulators, operators, operative leaders, professionals, development partners, and practitioners from across Nigeria to deliberate on strategic reforms, strengthen cooperative governance, and unlock the full potential of the cooperative sector as a driver of inclusive economic growth and sustainable development. It is expected that this meeting will yield high-level policy dialogues, strategic reform discussions, stakeholder engagements and collaboration, actionable resolutions for cooperative growth. Let us come together to reposition cooperatives as a major vehicle for economic empowerment, food security, and sustainable development in Nigeria. I urge us to continue to uphold the enduring values of cooperation, unity, mutual support, equity, and shared prosperity as we collectively advance the renewed and revamped program for a stronger, more inclusive and resilient cooperative sector in Nigeria. Good morning once again and welcome to this program. Without wasting much of our time, I will call for goodwill messages from Cooperative Federation of Nigeria. The President, please, you will come up to the podium to give us a goodwill message as you come in ICOPROM, meaning the Institute of Cooperative Professionals of Nigeria. Get ready for your own goodwill message. Okay, sir. Please, not wasting our time, we'll step down on that goodwill message for now while we fill up our high table. Please, respectfully, I want to call on the representative of the Permanent Secretary, please, to come up to the high table. Please give him hands of applause as he comes up. Please, I want to call on Commissioner, Minister of Social Welfare and Community Development, Cross River State, Archbishop Professor Margaret Ncca, sorry. Please come to the high table, ma'am. Let me call it. Okay, please, I want to call on Professor Benedict Ekutosokoli, Honorable Commissioner for Human Development and Poverty Eradication, Enugu State, to please, ma'am, come to the high table. Please, I want to call on the director of the Please, I'm calling on the host director of FCT, Engineer Salako. Please come to the high table. Mr. Olusegun Salako, please come to the high table. The President of Cooperative Federation of Nigeria, please make your way to the high table. I have the name. I know. Mrs. Hanatu Mishak. The National President of ICOPROM. That is the Institute of Cooperative Professionals of Nigeria, Dr. Olubumi Fajobi. Please make your way to the high table. I once again recognize the presence of the Federal Director of Cooperatives, Dr. Mohammed Bashir Abdulkadir. You're welcome, Sir Director General. Please, Director General. This is Director. Please, Director General of Bayelsa State, please come to the high table, please. Director General of Cooperative, Bayelsa State, we need your presence at the high table. I hope we are all settled. Please, at this juncture, I want to call on the President of Cooperative Federation of Nigeria, in the person of Mrs. Hanatu Mishak, to come to the podium for her goodwill message.
Coop, coop, coop. Coop, coop, coop. Where? The more we are together, 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 the more we are together, the happier we shall be. You need me, I need you, I need you, you need me. The more we are together, the happier we shall. Cop, cop, cop. Where? Thank you so much. The Honorable Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, who is soon to be here, I believe, the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, the Federal Director of Cooperatives, the President of ICOPRON, Director General of Ministry of Cooperatives, Bayelsa, and other distinguished guests on the high table, honorable commissioners from various states, Director of Cooperatives, sir? Okay, Director of Cooperatives, esteemed cooperative leaders, good morning. Oh, is it afternoon? Okay, that's all right. I bring you cooperative greetings from the Cooperative Federation of Nigeria. It is with great honor, deep appreciation, and strong sense of responsibility that I present this goodwill message on behalf of the Cooperative Federation of Nigeria at this important 8th regular meeting of the National Council on Cooperative Affairs, Ncca. At the outset, I wish to respectfully commend and congratulate the Honorable Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, His Excellency Senator Dr. Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, CON, for approving the hosting of this meeting. May I also appreciate the Federal Department of Cooperative for convening this timely and strategic gathering of key stakeholders in Nigeria's cooperative sector. The theme for this meeting, Revitalizing Nigeria's Cooperative Sector, a catalyst for inclusive growth and sustainable national development under the renewed hope agenda, is both apt and forward-looking. It reflects a clear understanding of the vital roles cooperatives play in promoting economic resilience, social inclusion, and national development. Distinguished participants, the cooperative movement remains a powerful tool for grassroots mobilization, poverty reduction, and economic empowerment across Nigeria. Cooperatives provide access to finance, boost agricultural productivity, create jobs, and strengthen community resilience in many rural and underserved communities. They are not just economic institutions, but lifelines. As the apex body of cooperative in Nigeria is encouraged by the renewed commitment of the federal government, and particularly the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, to reposition the sector as a key driver of the national economy. This aligns well with the renewed hope agenda focus on inclusivity, food security, job creation, and sustainable development. However, while progress has been made, we must acknowledge that Nigeria has lagged behind for some time in adopting global best practices in cooperative development. This has contributed to challenges such as governance, limited access to affordable finance, low digital integration, outdated or even non-existing regulatory frameworks, and low public awareness. There is an urgent need to review the existing Cooperative Act and policy, both of which are long overdue. The meeting, therefore, presents a valuable opportunity not only to deliberate on these gaps, but also to begin to the process of restoring the lost glories of the cooperative sector in Nigeria. Distinguished delegates, revitalizing the sector will no doubt require bold reforms, innovative thinking, and sustained collaboration. We must use this platform to re-examine existing frameworks, strengthen institutional capacity, promote transparency and accountability, leverage technology, and deepen partnership among government, the private sector, and development partners. The Cooperative Federation of Nigeria remains fully committed to supporting these efforts. We stand ready to work closely with the ministry, the Department of Cooperatives, and all relevant stakeholders to implement practical and forward-looking solutions that will reposition Nigeria's cooperative society for global competitiveness. Let me emphasize that the success of this meeting will not be measured only by volume of discussions held, but by the strength of the resolutions and the collective commitment to implement them. We must move from dialogue to decisive action that delivers measurable impact. I therefore urge all participants to actively engage, share ideas, and build lasting partnerships. Let us seize this opportunity to chart a new course for the cooperative movement in Nigeria. I appreciate all stakeholders for the continued support in sustaining and strengthening the cooperative sector and the movement. May the outcome of the regular meeting mark a turning point in our journey towards a vibrant and globally cooperative sector. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Please, without wasting much of our time, please, I want to call on the Federal Director of Cooperative, Dr. Mohammed Bashir Abdulkarim, to come for his welcome address. Sorry for the oversight. Please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. I wish to sincerely apologize for the mix-up. As you all know, the programs of event is before you, and the protocol and the arrangement of the presentations are very clear. However, due to human error, there was a little mix-up I am supposed to have taken my address first before the good messages and other presentations. So we apologize for that. This is my welcome address. I will take the protocols. The Honorable Minister of State and Food Security, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, distinguished Cooperative Affairs, permanent secretaries from the state here present, directors of federal and state ministries and departments and agencies, leaders of cooperative movements and institutions, development partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to this important gathering, the National Council of Cooperative Affairs, holding here at the Ncca Luxury Hotel, Abuja. This council meeting is critical platform for policy dialogue, strategic alignment, and collective decision making. It brings together key stakeholders from across the Federation to deliberate on issues that are central to growth, sustainability, and transformation of cooperatives as instrument of national development. The cooperative sector remains a vital pillar in our quest for food security, financial inclusion, job creation, rural development, and poverty reduction. With over 370,000 cooperative societies and more than 30 million members across the country, the sector represents a powerful vehicle for inclusion, economic participation, and grassroots empowerment. However, as we are all aware, the sector is not without challenges, ranging from weak governance structures and outdated legal framework to limited access to finance, poor data system, and inadequate integration into modern economic systems. It is in response to these challenges, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, under the visionary leadership of the Supervising Minister of Cooperative Affairs in Nigeria, the Honorable Minister of State, Senator Dr. Ali Sabi Abdullahi, CON, has been driving the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program, which is a bold, transformative agenda aimed at repositioning the cooperative sector as a dynamic engine for economic growth and national development. This council meeting, therefore, provides us with a unique opportunity to critically examine key policy proposals, including cooperative digitalization, strengthening governance framework, expanding access to finance, and the establishment of national innovative institutions such as the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria. As we engage in our deliberations over the coming days, I urge all participants to contribute actively, share insights, and work collaboratively towards practical, forward-looking resolutions that will move the sector to greater heights. Let us remain guided by cooperative principles of self-help, mutual support, democratic participation, shared prosperity, as we collectively chart a new course for cooperative development in Nigeria. On behalf of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the Federal Department of Cooperatives, I once again welcome you all and wish you a very productive, successful council meeting. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, the Director of Federal Cooperative, for that wonderful welcome address. If you do not get any other thing, you get it that we have to uphold the enduring values of cooperation, unity, mutual support, equity, and shared prosperity as we collectively advance the renewed and revamped programs for a stronger, more inclusive, and resilient cooperative sector in Nigeria. Thank you so much. Without wasting much of our time, we call on Cooperative President to come and give us his goodwill message. Please, it should not be more than 2 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Chairman of the technical session, Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Agric and Food Security, Dr. Marcus Ogunbiyi, Honorable Commissioners here from Enugu and Cross River, and DG Bayelsa, President, Cooperative Federation of Nigeria, Permanent Secretaries, Directors, other distinguished stakeholders in cooperatives, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my pleasure to bring you greetings, cooperative greetings from the Institute of Cooperative Professionals of Nigeria. And we do not take for granted this first opportunity of being officially invited to be part of the National Council on Cooperative Affairs. We are indeed very grateful. I wish to mention that the Institute is not in any confrontation or conflict of role with any of the regulators or the Federation. The Institute is just like the ICANN and the ANAN and the bankers and the insurance institutes. And if these institutes are not in conflict with the Federal Ministry of Finance, definitely ICOPRON is not in conflict and will not be in conflict with the roles of the regulators as well as that of the Federation. The Institute is out to ensure that the ecosystem and the ecosystem for the practice of cooperative is tidied up, and we regulate the ethics and decorum that is expected within the environment. And therefore, we have been taking this very seriously through our programs, the mandatory continuous professional training, which holds annually, as well as the annual national conference of the Institute. We have held 9 annual national conferences, and the next one is scheduled to come up in Lagos this year, November, by the grace of God. The mandatory continuous professional training we hold across the Federation in the month of June on zonal basis. Let me come back to the 8th national regular meeting of the National Conference Council of Cooperative Affairs. We all agree that this meeting is long overdue. It ought to have taken place probably in December last year, but even before then, the last edition of it was sometimes in 2017 or 2018. And this has led so much gap. So I want to urge us as we gather here this year to take this business very seriously. Ensure we participate maximally to ensure that all that is necessary are put in place. And I want to urge the regulator, the federal regulator, especially in collaboration with the federal ministry, to ensure that policies and debates that will come out of this meeting are taken very seriously, particularly those ones that will need to go before the National Assembly, because we know that the National Assembly will be very busy, and apart from that, we are in the political era. Most of them will want to go back to their constituencies to ensure that they can come back. So it is essential that we take this business very seriously and ensure that whatever we pass here between today and tomorrow gets speedy actions such that they can be crystallized into policies or acts of the Parliament as may be necessary. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the Honorable Minister of State, the Permanent Secretary, and all concerned about the National Council for Cooperative Affairs about this 8th National Conference meeting that is holding. I want to believe that all stakeholders will put in their best to ensure that the outcomes of this meeting are polished and in sync with best and global practices. I thank you all for coming around, and I thank you for your attention. God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for that goodwill message. Next in our agenda, in our program this morning, is the opening remarks and declaration of technical meeting or official opening by Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Marcus O. Ogunbiyi, FNSC, FNAIAE, R Engineer. To that effect, I respectfully call the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Ibrahim Tanimu, to come to the podium for the opening remarks and declaration of the technical meeting.
First of all, let me apologize for coming late. The Honorable Minister of State, myself, and some team from the ministry were engaged in another meeting with EU at Shehu Yaradua Center. Good morning. The Director of Cooperatives, Bashir Mohammed, other directors from the ministry here, the Permanent Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Cooperative, MCT, other permanent secretaries from the State Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperative, the Director General Cooperatives from Bayelsa State, development partners, the President of the Farmers Association of Nigeria, the women leaders, the leadership of the various cooperative societies and groups, the media, the civil society, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I stand in here to present the Permanent Secretary's opening remarks, who was unavoidably absent, and
Sissy. 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 Congratulations, sir.
Hello, a very good afternoon to all of you. You're welcome back from the tea break. I hope you had a very nice time and enjoyed yourself. Please, without wasting much of our time, we want to move on into the technical section. Please be seated and give us your ear. We want to move into the technical section, which will be chaired by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry. On the high table within will be the Director of Cooperative and the host, Director FCT. Please, these are the three people that will be on the high table. The chairman of the program, which is the Permanent Secretary, he will be on the table, on the high table, with the Director, Cooperative Department, and the host chairman, FCT Director, please. To that effect, please, I am calling on the Permanent Secretary Representative, Mr. Tanimu Ibrahim, to come to the stage. Please, come to the high table. Come to the high table. Please, sir, you're welcome. Let's give a hand of applause as he comes up to the high table. The Director of Cooperative Department follows suit, please. You're highly welcome, sir. And the third person that will be on the high table with them is the host chairman, that is the FCT Director. Please come to the high table. Every other person will step down, please. And the chairman is the one that will handle the technical session, where every other thing, the presentation, the dialogue, and the policies acceptable and the non-acceptable ones will be taken care of. Please, with this, I wish you a happy and wonderful deliberation as we speed up. Thank you, and God bless you.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back from the tea break. Welcome back from the tea break, and we are now about to start the technical session. As according to the agenda, we have some key presentation from the ministry that will be done by the essay to the Honorable Minister of State on Cooperatives. It will give us an insight of what we are
Recording
going
in
to discuss
progress.
and the direction we are going to take. So on this note, I will invite the essay to the Minister, to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture on Cooperatives to make this
Recording
presentation and
stopped.
give you 10 minutes. And I will yield the participants another 5 or 10 minutes to ask questions from the presentation so that we move forward. Thank you very much.
Chairman of today's technical session, the Federal Director, and the host FCT Director. All protocols duly observed. I'm here on behalf of the Honorable Minister of State, Senator Dr. Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi CON, Baden Borgu, the Supervising Minister of Cooperative Affairs in Nigeria, taking the lead papers for the technical session. They have 3 memos there that the Honorable Minister is presenting that I will be speaking to. One is the Council Memorandum on the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program, a national framework for cooperative transformation, digitalization, and economic revitalizations within 2025 to 2030. The purpose of this memorandum is to seek Council's consideration, endorsement, and approval of the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program, a comprehensive multi-sectoral national framework developed to modernize, digitize, and reposition Nigerian cooperative sector as a major engine of food security, economic inclusion, employment generation, rural transformation, and of course, national development. Let me go into the background. We all know that cooperative movement in Nigeria today, we have over 370,000 registered cooperative societies across all the state federations and FCT inclusive. You will know that there is no state in Nigeria today that doesn't have in their register, in their book of registered of cooperatives, that doesn't have more than 10,000 cooperatives registered in their books. Yes, we will agree that maybe some reasonable amount of that are already moribund, and which is part of what is leading to the reform and revamp program that the federal government is initiating through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to be championed by the Federal Department of Cooperatives. And we all know that in this registered cooperative across the nation, over 370,000 cooperative societies, we have more than 30 million people, individual members, across all this. However, we all know that there are some systemic challenges, some weaknesses that have limited the performance of the sector over time. And the cooperative reform, the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program has tried to identify some of these weaknesses. One of these such challenges is weak governance and the leadership accountability. 2 is the issue of outdated legal and regulatory framework. We all agree with me that there is a need for our policy to be reviewed, and even, of course, the Nigerian Cooperative Societies Act to be reviewed. There is need for us to look at a lot of ghost members, loan defaulters.
Recording in
fraudsters.
progress.
People have taken advantage of the system to come and do peoples in the name of cooperative societies. We discovered that there's a lot of, even where cooperatives are doing well, we lack structured off-takers and logistical systems that can help, cooperative growth. And you will agree that most of all these, our societies are all fragmented across board. There is no any central comprehensive data that we can lay our hand onto, and which is part of what the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program is trying to respond to by providing a national transformation framework to reposition all cooperative societies and ensure that we have a structured, digitally verified, well-capitalized and economically competitive cooperative entities. Let me quickly run through some of the key programs in the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp programs. We have some of the key 7 strategic operational pillars in this. You all agree with me that all the directors of cooperatives in Nigeria, whom the permanent secretary and commissioners, we've been able to send the document itself, which is part of what the Ncca of this year is going to look into and see how we can all integrate the system so that we can have a one national identity. Some of the strategic pillars is 1, governance, legal and regulatory framework, strengthening cooperative laws, policies and governance framework. Another pillar of the reform is institutional strengthening, professionalization and capacity building. The need to resuscitate the National Center for Cooperative Development, Ncca. The need to collaborate with ICOPRO, the Institute of Cooperative Professionals of Nigeria. The Honorable Minister sees as a key role that there's a need to begin to see the cooperative managers and some of the professionals
recording in progress.
What they're doing, and hence why ICOPRO is to be given a key role in this reform era. Then capacity development and training of cooperative leaders, managers, and of course the regulators themselves. Another key pillars of the reform is cooperative digitalization and data management. The need for us to have a comprehensive data. Today, when you look at it, for example, CAC has come up. And what CAC does is to register business. Am I right? And we know cooperative too, we have the Nigerian Cooperative Societies Act, who registers cooperative businesses, right? But today we know we are on the concurrent list that each state registers cooperatives. But over time, we've been able to see people go and fake that certificate. People fake the certificate and go and present it to bank and open an account and begin to operate in the name of cooperative societies. We've discovered that over time, people registered in Abuja here and begin to go and operate in Nasarawa State. It's not supposed to be so. And how is it easy? It's because most of the time, these certificates, we don't have any central data where people can easily to verify if this certificate cooperative registration number is genuine or not. Today, if you have an RC number, a registration of corporation of a business, you can easily go to the CAC portal to verify that business and even know who are the sponsors or the promoters of that business. But today we don't have that in cooperative, and that is part of what the digitalization we're bringing into the cooperative system is trying to bring into play. That will make, if a cooperative is registered in Osun State, or is registered in Cross River, for example, or is registered in Bayelsa, or registered in Abuja, or wherever it is, if we bring that certificate, we should be able to know that this person registers in Bayelsa and his operation is in Bayelsa. Not only that will you get that certificate that you can easily verify on the system, but also the people, if I remember, individual cooperative members of that society will also have what we call a Coop ID to identify that you are a member of a cooperative and of that society. So it's the issue of people owing money in one cooperative in Lagos State and run to Abuja to come and collect loan again will not happen again. by the time all these come on board. Also, another key pillars in this reform is the access to affordability of credit, cooperative financing, and expanding funding opportunities. You will all agree with me that today, one of the key challenges in the cooperative business enterprise we have today is startup capitals for some of them that wants to go into business. Like I said, cooperative is an enterprise, is a business, is a form of business. I choose not to go into the capitalist model. I choose the cooperative model because I believe that the cooperative model is the only model that thinks about the people, that are people-centered, unlike the capitalist model that is profit-centered. So if I want to register, I want to do business with cooperatives, I should be able to register as a cooperative and do my business as a cooperative and follow all cooperative principles and values. And one of the challenges we have is financing. So how do we meet up with some of our challenges of finances? The reform is proposing that there's a need for us to now begin to build the savings and credit cooperatives, SACCOs, which is the financial cooperatives. There is a need for us to go back and begin to build what we call today, a lot of us call them thrift and credit, some of us call them savings and loans. But we are saying that let's see how we can now aggregate them to say that, okay, this is savings and credit, to modernize in tandem with what is happening globally, so that we see them as a credit union, as a savings and credit societies. And of course, the game changer in all of this reform is the proposed Cooperative Bank of Nigeria. Today, many of us here will bear me witness, even some of the directors will get that. Yes, even the minister is taking steps to ratify all those. You discover that there is a time they begin to say that you want to register your cooperative society. Now, the banks are saying that you must bring a CAC certificate or a TIN, a tax identification number. Without that, they will say they will not open an account for you. And for those of us that already open an account, they are saying they are going to put a lien on our account until we provide those things. It's because some of those banks are not in know of the Nigerian Cooperative Societies Act that sets, the cooperative societies. That is different from the CAMA. Yes, you can't blame them, but it's because of the directives from the CBN. Yesterday, we are seeing a meeting where one of the key top officers of the bank is trying to let the minister know that there is still need because the CBN has not changed that position. The minister has met with the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry and Investment, and they called CAC, where CAC says that they don't register cooperatives, and they have never, in fact, that they know that their act has said that they cannot register cooperatives, which that is cleared. The Honorable Minister also made comments that we are supposed to meet with the new Nigerian Revenue Service now, which is the formerly Federal Inland Revenue Service, the chairman of that Inland Revenue Committee, regarding the issue of tax and the tax identification number. Yes, they have said that they are non-taxable entities that still have to get that thing. Why? Because sometimes cooperative does business with third parties. And any business you do with the third party, definitely you have to pay tax on that. Hence, there's a need for you to have a team. So let's take that note, and we're working on that. In fact, the chairman of the Fiscal Responsibility and Tax Reform, Professor Taiwo Yedele, that was just of recent made the Minister of State for Finance, will have been here today to make statement on that issue of tax on cooperatives. We are at his office to meet with him to say that he is the voice when he talks to issue of tax. And I challenge him that most times when he talks about tax on media, he never made mention of cooperatives. What he keeps saying is MSMEs, nano businesses, and small businesses, but not mention of cooperative. And he said, that he's sorry about that I didn't even know that cooperatives still exist. I said, why not? He said, because it was his father. He knows that when he was growing up, that cooperative used to be the in thing to him. And it's part of what they used to sponsor him to school. And I said, cooperative still exists. And in fact, it's part of what we're trying to do now to do the reform. He will have been here, and I know because maybe exercise of duties, God has made him, he has been elevated to a minister now. So that is why he's not here among he will have been part of the people that will present a lead tick on that issue of tax. So the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria is one of the key things that we feel that is going to be a game changer for us, that it will catalyze a lot of businesses for us within the cooperative sector. And the need for every state to take part in it, so that it is a cooperative by the cooperatives, for the cooperatives, and fully owned by cooperatives and managed by cooperatives themselves. Also, key thing about this reform is the enterprise development and value chain integration. The issue of promoting, businesses across agricultural farms and key sectors. The localized processing hubs and farm equipment. There are some other programs that was introduced under this reform that each state is going to take part in. And of course, inclusive stakeholder engagement and strategic partnership, building collaborations across all state governments, private sector, and development partners, including youth, women, and people with disabilities. And lastly, 7 is monitoring, evaluation, and sustainability framework, ensuring accountability, impact measurement, and long-term sustainability. Over time, we've discovered that in each of these states, you discover that today, we do not have a harmonized way of accounting. And this is part of why the minister is talking about professionalization, where ICOPON is helping us to develop now an harmonized accounting, format for all states of the federation. Because you go to some states today, you discover that the way they are running their cooperative audit and accounting is different from what they are doing in Lagos. How Lagos is doing is different from how they are doing in Abuja. How they are doing in Abuja is different from which is not supposed to be so. So part of what the reform is proposing is to see how we have an harmonized accounting, principles regarding the cooperative accounting. And like I said, we've been able to see how we work with the ICOPON to deliver that, so that all the states will begin to have a single form of accounting and reporting system, so that, especially with the digitalization that is coming on board, it will be easier for us to have accurate data from each state. Today, we ask for even states to provide 20 most viable cooperative societies in their state. And I tell you that hardly do we have 10 states that will be able to do the correct thing out of the 37. That is 36 plus FCT. Because most of them could not just provide basically what is the total savings of that even society, that what you have seen from your books. Total loan granted. How many staff, paid staff, how many are the management committee in that society? And we ask for the total balance sheet size of the society. What's the big deal? All total liabilities and equity, and the asset of the society is what we are asking about, so that we can know what is the asset base.
Victor,
but we cannot have it out.
Be mindful of your time.
Okay, sir.
We have other memos to take.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So, last, on justification of the reform, this is to let us that the national goals in food security, rural industrialization, job creation, poverty reduction, economic diversification, and inclusive growth. It is directly response to the presidential directives to empower cooperatives with capital, digital identity, equipment, structure, production, and market assets. And of course, the expected benefit of this is to see that at the end of this, if we can drive the reform, the Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program within now and 2030, because it is in line with the $1 trillion economic dollar of the Mr. President, we're looking at over 2 million jobs to be created across the cooperatives value chains. We're looking to onboard about 500,000 both existing and newly formed cooperative societies with over 30 million cooperators into the system, and of course, increase food production and reduce post-harvest losses. Then the issue of the digital identity and verification for all cooperative societies and cooperators. Then we're looking at the enhanced financing and market access to this. Then strengthening participation of women, youth, and people with disabilities. And the prayer to this first key paper is that the Council is invited to note the national importance of the new Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program framework, approve the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program 2025 to 2030 as Nigeria's official cooperative development framework. And of course, direct all relevant MDAs and look at how the states to collaborate with Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security LDC for implementation of this and across all the states, then approve the constitution of the National Cooperative Advisory Board. I hereby submit this. Then the two, maybe let me just quickly rush through the two. The other thing is just to emphasize, out of all the 7 key operational pillars, the minister singled out 2, that is key, that for the states to see how we can work on that and all the federations to key, which is that of the digitalization and that of the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria. This memorandum to the National Council on Cooperative Affairs on the establishment of the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria. Introduction. The cooperative sector in Nigeria remains a critical vehicle for financial inclusion, agricultural development, MSME growth, and grassroots economic empowerment. Despite its vast potential, the sector continues to face challenges in accessing affordable and structured financing, tailored to its unique model, in line with the Renewed Hope agenda, and of course the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reform Revamp Program. There is compelling need to establish a dedicated cooperative-owned financial institutions. According to this memorandum, seeks the approval of the establishment of the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria, COBANK. The establishment of the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria is necessitated by persistent financing gaps, limited access to long-term credit, weak integration into formal financial systems, and the absence of a dedicated cooperative banking institution. The proposed bank will bridge these gaps and strengthen cooperative value chains across key sectors. Goals and objectives. The goal to establish a sustainable cooperative-owned financial institution that delivers inclusive financial services with the objective of enhancing financial inclusion, providing sector-specific credits, strengthening cooperative enterprises, mobilizing savings, boost agricultural economy, and supporting national development priorities. What is the ownership structure we're looking into? The bank shall operate a multi-tier ownership structure. We have bronze tier, which is the tier 3, which is this tier 3 bronze is societies that can buy into the bank within 1 million and 15 million. If you have between 1 million and 50 million, you can buy into tier 3. Then we have silver, which is the tier 2. If you have between 16 million and 20 million, then we have the gold tier, which is the tier 1. The gold is between 21 million and upward, up to 50 million, which will comprise either primary, secondary, or tertiary cooperative institutions, alongside some strategic institutional investors, and of course, that will have non-controlling interest in the systems. There is a share ownership structure that was proposed that 65% of the cooperative society's ownership through a cooperative holding. The minister, of course, maybe at the dinner for this, there's a dinner, especially that we invited some of key cooperative directors, the commissioners, and some of the key cooperative societies. We will explain better on this because we're looking at just the model that was done in Kenya. Because when we're looking into this, we had to go to some of these countries to see how it is based on. And they have said that there's going to be a 65 holding only for cooperative societies through a cooperative holding society that will be established. And we're looking at establishing the Cooperative Trust and Investment Society of Nigeria. They're going to hold all the shares, the trust. Because apart from the bank, there's going to be other key cooperative sectors that are going to go into business. 30% of this is going to be by strategic institutional investors ownership with non-controlling interest to abide by the cooperative principles and values, while 5% will be for the cooperative bank employees themselves. The staffs, the paid staff, the officers of that bank, we have ownership into the bank as well, a 5% loan. And the capitalization, we're looking at 200 billion, which is the normal capitalization for a national licensing cooperative bank. Then the governance structures. The governance shall align with the global best practices and CBN requirements with the provisional board, clear separation of ownership, and of course the management team and a robust compliance systems. The implementation will follow a phased approach, planning and regulatory approval, capital mobilization, and pilot operations, then a national rollout. Recommendations is that the Council is requested to approve the establishment of the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria and support regulatory engagement for its operationalization. Conclusion, the establishment of the Cooperative Bank of Nigeria will significantly strengthen cooperative financing and advance inclusive national development under the New Hope agenda. While lastly is the memo on the national program on digitalization of the cooperative sector in Nigeria, a framework for transparency, financial inclusion, and data-driven cooperative development. This memo seeks the consideration, endorsement, and approval of the Council for the implementation of a national program on the digitalization of the cooperative sector in Nigeria under the New Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program. The initiative is designed to establish a unified technological-driven ecosystem that will enhance transparency, improve governance, strengthen data, and expand financial inclusion across Nigerian cooperative landscape. Like I've said, we have over 370,000 registered cooperative societies and over 30 million members. There's a need to digitalize all this so that we can make more useful data to achieve a lot of things that we want to do. But one of the key challenges that we have that is this digitalization is because a lot of manual and fragmented registration and operational systems all over the country, weak and unreliable data for planning and policy formulation, fraudulent practices including duplicate and ghost membership, frauds, limited access to finance due to lack of digital identity, and of course, credit history. Weak integration with national financial and digital ecosystems. These challenges have constrained the sector's ability to fully contribute to national development goals. And in response to this, that is what the Ministry have proposed a comprehensive digital transformation framework to modernize the cooperative operation nationwide. And we've said that some of the key descriptions in this digitalization program is the establishment of a national cooperative smart registry, where each state will have a system that they can use to register their cooperatives. As we are registering cooperative in Cross River, as we are registering cooperative in Lagos, is going into, you are onboarding into that system, and nationally we can aggregate everything. We can see it too from our dashboard. You see dashboard of your state. We cannot see anything that you are doing within your state, except what the data you feed us back, which is basically we want to know if you are registered cooperative, we should be able to know that this cooperative is registered in that state, so that its operation is in your state. So if you have one cross-cutting, we'll be able to identify it and let you know and hint you that this cooperative is close. So we need a national cooperative smart registry that can, access all these databases and help with the verification and registration and even monitoring of cooperatives. The area of compliance now will be easier. So any cooperative that is supposed to do AGM, that didn't do AGM, from your system, in your office, you can easily see it. That this cooperative, they're supposed to do AGM, so they have not done it. And you can easily go and send your staff to go and meet them and set the need. The one that is supposed to do election, that have not done election, from your system, it can easily refer to you and see that the society that is supposed to do election and they have not done it, and you can know. Then, like I said, the introduction of the cooperative verification number, CVN, and the COOP, member identification number, COOP ID, that will be introduced. And also the cooperative identity and reputation check, the COOP check. The COOP check is powered with the credit bureau, the credit registry for us under this same system. The credit bureau, what it does is that if you owe, because we have a lot of cooperatives, a lot of cooperator, you owe a cooperative and you run to another cooperative to go and get another loan. Now, what this does for us is that the moment you borrow money from one society and the society feeds into this portal that you are owing them, until you finish that payment, you cannot get loan anywhere in any society again in Nigeria. Even bank, you won't be able to get loan except you pay back that loan. So it will help a lot of loan, defaulters to eradicate that system. And also to integrate with the financial and digital ecosystem within the country. Then, of course, capacity building and digital literacy. All this involves, there's a lot of digital literacy that is going to be, because yes, we know it is not easy. When you're bringing in technology, you need to train the staffs, the regulators, the directors and their staff. They need to be trained, and all this is going to be provided for. And of course, cyber security and data protection framework, we are not taking that for lightly, and that is why we are working with the Ministry of Communications and Digital Innovations under their agency, the National Data and Protection Commission, on this, and also with Ncca, Nigeria Identity Management Commission. We'll be working together with the COOP ID and all those things together, because we're going to be linking individual cooperative identity with your NIN and the national data. So justification, lastly, is to digitalize the cooperative sector is critical to achieving the objective of the New Hope agenda. It will improve transparency, accountability, and trust within the sector, eliminate fraud, duplication, and inefficiencies, enable data-driven policy and planning, facilitate access to finance and digital identity and distributions. And of course, we all know the expected benefits, like we've said before now. We digitalize all these cooperative members and cooperatives. We embody all the cooperative societies, enhance financial through digital wallets, credit scoring, and financial linkages, improve governance, transparency and accountability, reliable national cooperative database, and planning for investment, increase productivity across agricultural and non-agricultural value chains, strengthen inclusive women and also people with disabilities. Implementation roadmap. There's a roadmap that was proposed that we're looking at within now and in next 12 months. We should be able to achieve this with support from all the state governments, through the ministry in charge of the cooperatives and the Department of Cooperative in each state, including Abuja FCT. The prayer now to the council is invited to know the strategic importance of cooperative digitalization to national development. Approve the national program on cooperative digitalization as a key pillar of the renewed cooperative reform and revamp program. Direct all relevant MDAs, states, and stakeholders to support implementation. Approve the establishment of the National Steering Committee on Cooperative Digitalizations, and of course, mandate integration of all cooperative societies into the National Cooperative Smart Registry. Submitted by Senator Dr. Ali Sabbatullah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Victor. I thought it was a paper presentation that he was going to give us an insight, but later on now I discovered that it was the real memo he presented. And technically, member copies of this memo so that you can digest and raise your comments, questions, what have you. Now that we don't have much time, memo number 1 is about the revitalization of cooperative reform program 2025 to 2030. Okay, I'm made to understand that the document was circulated to members.
The reform
commissioners.
Yeah. To all the
technically, as the rules requires, you submit these memos to members who are here because they are the ones to deliberate and discuss and make recommendations. Nevertheless, we have to make progress. It's one of the initiatives of revamping the cooperative system in Nigeria. Now, memo number 1, the prayers is that we should note that the importance of the Renew Hope Cooperative Reform Revitalization Program and to approve the initiative and direct all relevant MDAs and state to collaborate with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and Federal Department of Cooperatives, and also to approve the constitution of the National Cooperative Advisory Board. So I told this to the members, to the participants, for comments, questions, and answers. Do we agree? Do we have any comments? Participant. Pardon? Yeah. So somebody should help him with the microphone. What is the MC? Sure, ushers. Go straight to the point. No argument, no.
No, there's no argument here, sir. Mr. Victor, thank you for your presentation. My question is directly on the cooperative bank, which I feel is a laudable objective. But my fear is this. In your presentation, you said 65% of the shares that have been allocated to cooperative societies will be held in trust. Will be held in trust by a holding company. Now, yes, my question is, why can't cooperative societies hold these shares directly? Why pass through a holding company? So that when the cooperative bank pays dividends, it pays directly to the cooperative society, not to the holding company. Because the issue of trust will arise. The issue of trust will arise. What if, for instance, we have a management team in the holding company that is not too righteous? Let me use that word. Now, these dividends are not going to the cooperative societies directly. Who are the shareholders of the cooperative bank? Let me give you an example. The biggest cooperative society in my state is a university cooperative, and it's being run by a Cameroonian professor. And they have been there for long. Why? Because we don't even trust ourselves to run the cooperative. To show you that the issue of corruption and things have really made a devastating impact on our society. So the issue of trust will arise. Why can't these cooperative societies hold the shares directly from the cooperative bank? I know you said the Kenyan model, but you can't compare Kenya with Nigeria. That is the truth of the matter. You can't compare Kenya with Nigeria. So why can't these shares be held directly by the cooperative society instead of the holding company? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You want to respond?
Okay, so
Any other question?
Maybe I should let's respond as it comes.
Thank you very much. Permanent Secretary, ably represented. My name is Dr. Cooperative. I'm speaking from ICOPRON. I want to commend this agenda on the issue of professionalization. The problem with the sector is that as we speak, it's an all-commerce affair. Anybody can come from anywhere and organize cooperative training, cooperative conferences, and teach people cooperative practices. There's a reason why the cooperative way of doing business is different from the joint stock company, the partnerships, and the other forms of businesses. And that reason is what professionalism will insist on. Now, I give an example. The International Financial Reporting Standard has said that from 2027, nobody will recognize the way cooperatives prepare their annual accounts. This is part of what ICOPRON is teaching cooperatives. It's part of the MCPT training programs, so that our people will begin to learn how to prepare annual accounts acceptable by the international standards. But at times, when meetings are convened for these trainings, some directors of cooperatives will ask their cooperatives not to attend, as if there's anything we are dragging. So even this cooperative law, ICOPRON is already teaching people to get ready for a new law. If there are newer provisions, we will teach them the new provisions so that we can practice it together according to what is novel, what is new. So it's important that as we go forward, that cooperative societies, directors of cooperatives, federations, see ICOPRON as partners in the development of this sector, and to insist that those that are not professionals cannot come and start leading trainings and conferences where important issues in terms of practice and direction will be taught people. So we want to commend this agenda and to ask to insist on professionalism for cooperatives as a way of doing business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think the ICOPRON is just speaking, commending on the effort of the reform, that there's a need that to professionalize this sector, which is key, and the Honorable Minister is not joking with that at all. At all. Yeah, on the bank. Why are cooperatives not supposed to subscribe directly to the bank instead of going through and holding cooperatives? Abi? Thank you very much. One, like I said, we want to make it is not going to be the bank alone, because we are trying to see how we reform the whole entire sector. And the issue of lack of trust that you have raised is one of the key things that is trying to see that drive that digitalization. That there is a need for us to drive digitalization so that every individual cooperative member, you say you're a cooperative member, you belong to a society, we will know you, we will know your identity, we will have your details. You get it? Because a lot of things that is happening within a society today, because you just made mention of a sample of a society you have that they are leaving one person there because even the people are not trusting themselves. It is even wrong. Because either we like it or not, we should get to a place, because cooperative first is built on trust. And that is why we are not joking with that issue of identity. So that we can identify everybody. You can, the era of one person is stealing money and you go, and nothing will happen, has gone. Because with the reform, we talked about the reform, the cooperative itself, the act is going to be reformed. And definite measures, punitive measures will be out on each of those in the act. There's going to be a regulatory framework. Because we're looking at it from the angle of, one, it is not just the banking sector alone we're going to be focusing on. We are focusing on other business areas to generate wealth for the cooperative societies at large. So getting primary societies directly to invest directly into the bank, it is still the same thing as getting directly into the holding. Because I understand where you're coming from, that if there is the management issue, because it's still the same thing, if it's in the bank, if people still subscribe directly to the bank and you still have bad people running it, it's still the same thing that will happen. But what we want to avoid is, because we want a clear, so that there won't be issues, clear ownership when it comes to governance. Because the bank is going to be run purely by a professional management team. There won't be the issue of any politics coming, and that's why we're saying it's going to be purely cooperative societies thing. And the whole politics can be played within the holding company, while the bank is running professionally and making surpluses for the holding as one arm of what is coming up from the holding. The holding is going to be going into other several key business that's going to be supply national, national, that will be a key source of national, all the states. Talk of housing, talk of transportation, talk of e-commerce, consumer, everything the holding is going to go into. But yes, we're starting with the bank, and the issue of saying that, yes, let the bank hold this thing directly. Like I said, we don't want confusion of governance. We don't want distractions of governance into the bank when it kickstarts. It should be purely managed by professionals, bankers, but fully owned by cooperative through their holding. And like I said, we look at what happened in the former cooperative banks that make them to lose focus, even from the holdings themselves that they have then. It's because they go purely commercially and begin to involve even individual members, private people, to come into the bank. And before you know it, that was how those people took over the bank from the holding itself and from the sector today. And we don't want that to happen. The Honorable Minister is going to explain better by the time he's talking at the dinner. And of course, maybe perhaps tomorrow at the council, when the whole council is looking into the papers, to look very well. But like I said, we don't want issue of governance wahala. We want it to be a properly managed entity that is making surplus for the sector, even while the sector owns it. So all the governance and everything will happen with the holding, while the bank can focus on running their destiny. And no anyone politics can come into the running of the affairs of the societies. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, the time is not on our side. Let's assume that memo number 1, do we adopt it and recommend to council? Thank you. The Honorable Minister here represented and fellow cooperators. We are here for a purpose. Earlier, before we came here, states were asked to submit memorandum, and each state did submitted their memoranda. If that is true, we are to prepare a document for tomorrow for the session. So now we need to look at these documents that are presented and then let the ministry and the people so appointed summarize these documents so presented so that we have to have a document to read tomorrow because we don't have time. So please, let us now go into accepting the memoranda presented so far and then prefer the next solution. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's well noted.
I Chief Ebikri Akbolo.
Now,
From Bayelsa State. I'm the Director General, Bayelsa State Bureau for Cooperative Development.
let me say something here. The three memos presented here are actually memos emanating from Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. They are not memos for the Minister of State. They are memos for the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security under the Cooperative Department. Now, in terms of reforms, reforms are made to address certain challenges and bring out the best. We are supposed to move forward. We have had cooperative societies over the years. We have identified their challenges. What are those solutions and what are those pathways that will address those challenges that we are doing differently? This is simple. So, based on that, we will adopt these memos and recommend to Council for consideration and appropriate action. The next memo. Like you said, we will take all those memos the way they are. Abia State, there is a memo from Abia State. Anybody from Abia State? Abia State. Anybody from Abia State? Yes. Madam, come forward now. You are from Abia State. You don't want us to hear you. And let me, at this point, say that anybody who is coming up to present his memo, he should just state the purpose of the memo, the justification of the memo, and the recommendation. We all know, we are all familiar with what it is. We don't want so much grammar because we really don't have time. So, Madam, you have 3 minutes to present your memo. Come over. Okay.
Good afternoon, all. So this is a memo presented by the Abia State. The purpose of this memo is to inform all the National Council on Cooperative Affairs of the strategic implementation of the Abia State government in the revitalization and responding of the cooperative sector in the Abia State, and to seek the council support for the sustainable reform. Background: as Abia State was created on the 27th of August 1991 from the old state of Imo State, hearing cooperative sectors from both Imo and Enugu states. Since its creation, the cooperative department has established various ministries, including in agriculture, commerce, women affairs, and rural development. It is presently domiciled under the Ministry of Poverty Alleviation and Social Protection, in line with the reform vision of His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti, OFR. The department continues to uphold its statutory mandate of professionalizing cooperatives through registration, auditing, supervision, members' education, and feasibility advisory services. Cooperative operations in the states are guided by the Nigerian Cooperative Societies Act 2004 and of the Abia State Cooperative Law, CAP 77 of 2005. The state has, over the years, maintained a vibrant cooperative movement despite economic and its institutionalized challenges. However, the movement would have been more robust of its states.
Consider the following: establishment of small claims courts for cooperative arbitration, mandatory deposits of 10% of reserve fund with approved cooperative-based insurance companies to ensure sustainability and pave the way for cooperative insurance schemes. 6. Establishment of a cooperative bank model after the Bank of Industry. The essay mentioned the issue of cooperative holding. From our own state, we can only support any investment, any holding that is 100% owned by cooperative organizations. Because collaborating with capitalists will return us to where we are coming from. Number 7, the introduction of innovative cooperative programs to attract youth participation in Nigeria. Number 8, upgrading federal cooperative colleges to become federal university of cooperatives with opportunity of affiliation by state-owned colleges that are unable to form cooperative university. Conclusively, the cooperative movement remains one of the most powerful tools for inclusive economic development, social empowerment, and community transformation. But over the years, cooperatives in Ogun State have demonstrated the ability to mobilize resources, create employment opportunity, support entrepreneurship, and improve the standard of living of citizens. With 14,609 registered cooperative society, Ogun State stands as a beacon of cooperative development in Nigeria. However, sustaining and expanding this success requires strong institutional support, continuous reform, strategic partnership, and innovative policies. The recent international collaboration by the state government led by His Excellency Prince Dr. Abiodun CON in collaboration with Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited, especially the strategic engagement with cooperative institutions in Germany, represent a bold step towards repositioning the cooperative sector in Ogun State and Nigeria in general. If properly supported and strengthened through policy reforms, professionalism,
and the establishment of cooperative financial system, the cooperative movement can once again become a major driver of economic prosperity, poverty reduction, sustainable development, not only in Ogun State, but across Nigeria. Indeed, the future of inclusive economic growth lies in a vibrant, transparent, and well-structured cooperative movement. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Comments, questions? All these things are in line with the reform ongoing in the cooperative department, except for few, which you made mention of creation of the Ministry of Cooperative. Is that a consensus to recommend to council? Okay. The reform will address other concerns which he raised. So we recommend that Ogun State has submitted a memo recommending that Ministry of Cooperatives should be created, while other concerns will fuse into the reform. Thank you very much. Osun State. Is Osun here? Okay. Don't blow grammar. The purpose and the prayers.
All protocols duly observed. Coop. I'm presenting from Osun State, the only state in Nigeria that has Ministry of Cooperatives and Empowerment, established in 2023. And it has been a ministry that has been saddled with a lot of responsibilities, empowering people and promoting the programs of our people. Now, the purpose. Before I go to the purpose, I am the Director of Cooperative Services in Osun State. Elijah Babatunde Olowoyeye is my name. The purpose of this memorandum is to inform Council of the implementation of the strategies for the revitalization and repositioning of cooperatives in Osun State. The background is with you, sir, and maybe you go through it. I'll just go over the strategies implemented. 2 years ago, the governor, His Excellency Senator Ademola Lode Jackson Adeleke, started, and we have had the second one, Cooperative Summit, in which all cooperative stakeholders in the state were gathered together and brainstormed and have programs starting from that summit. Immediately after the summit, 422 societies were established in 320 wards. That means every ward in the state is having at least one cooperative society. And a loan of 1.6 billion has been released as revolving loan in the state as at December last year. And he also promised that even before this year runs out, he will complete the 3 billion naira loan promise. And this loan has been released through the Federation of the State, where our cooperatives gathered. He has rehabilitated the cooperative college that has been neglected over 12 years. This college operates on diploma programs, and very soon, in due affiliation with the Osun State University, there will be degree program will be run in the college very soon. There are many programs being run after in the last 2 years. In the last 1 year, they will cash grants to members of the community in the state, business empowerment through point of sales, POS machines given to people in the state. Now let me just go directly to challenges, or maybe our prayers. Sorry, let me just go to the prayers. we advise that there should be adoption of the strategies as clearly stated above. I don't need to go over the establishment of a task force to oversee the implementation. And there's need to source for and allocate resources, men, money, and materials to all states of the Federation in order to improve the economic activities of the members of the state or the community. And there should be organization of regular trainings, workshops, meetings with leaders of the cooperative societies from each state of the Federation. And lastly, with me here, there should be the creation of a special national professional cadre and welfare package program for staff in the ministry. Also, that we have started the process, that is the process of professionalizing the cooperative sector, which ICOPON is based out and is working with with all the state governments to make sure that all workers in the departments are professional, they are all professionals. So, thank you, sir.
Questions? Comments? No questions?
My name is Sulaiman Ibrahim Gabarin, Director of Cooperative Board State. The only comment I want to make is, firstly, I want to commend the presenter of this paper. And secondly, he did mention that the Ogun State is the only state that has a Ministry of Cooperative and what? But Osun State. But I want to clear his audience that Bauchi State has a Ministry of Cooperative and Poverty Alleviation, created in the year 2003, but is now renamed to Ministry of Cooperative and Small and Medium Enterprises Development. That's the way.
Okay.
My name is still Frederick Sese. I just want to ask a question. And my question is, while I envy your position that government is seriously working with you, you talked about 1.6 billion that were given to you for the cooperative sector. And I was happy about that. But doesn't it create a situation of dependency? Government giving money to cooperatives to survive. Doesn't it create a situation of dependency on government? Because cooperative is supposed to be self-sustaining. The idea of cooperative is that it will be self-sustaining. We contributing to make sure that we help each other. Now, if we are always expecting an external source to bring in, doesn't it create a situation of dependency? Director, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Osun State. What we need to do here to recommend to Council is to commend Osun State for the creation of cooperative department. And the other issues will be covered under the reform initiative. Funding sources has to come through the budgetary system to the departments. And the departments have the role to see how they can support some of those cooperative movements, but not to give them money directly. They will have banks they can access or through their own cooperative activities. So it will come up in the reform. Thank you very much. The next state is it Kano? Kano State.
All protocol duly observed.
honorable members of the High Table, good day. This memorandum for deliberation at the 8th regular meeting of the National Council Cooperative. The title of the memo is Strengthening Farmers and Workers Cooperative Cluster for Agricultural Productivity and Commercial Expansion in Kano State. The purpose of this memo, Kano State remains one of the Nigerian leading agricultural and commercial hubs with vast production capacity in crops such as rice, tomatoes, guinea corn, and so on. The state also boasts vibrant network of registered cooperative society, spanning agricultural, marketing, artisan, and workers based on cooperative. But the problem is that despite the potential, many cooperative society, particularly those in farming cluster, face structural challenges, including limited access to finance, inadequate infrastructure for market leakages, and the insufficient borrow addition system. Farmers Cooperative Society in Kano State operate largely at subsistence of semi-commercial level due to lack of structural cluster development support, poor access to affordable agricultural financing, inadequate storage, processing, and preservation facilities, weak integration into national and international market. Justification: given Kano State strategy role in Nigerian agricultural and commercial ecosystem, there is strong need for targeted national intervention to enhance cooperative driving agricultural production, strengthen value development, promote agro-processing and commercial, integrate workers cooperative into industrial and the services sector, support food security and employment generation. Our prayers, the National Council of Cooperative are invited to note that we are prayers, number one, capacity building and extension services, provide training on modern farming techniques, climate smart agriculture, and the cooperative management. They join hand with the Kano State government and the professional to boost the professional knowledge about cooperative in the Kano State. The second one, inclusion workers cooperative, integrated workers cooperative into agricultural value chain, processing, logistics, and marketing. Number three, digitalization of cooperative operation, introduce digital platform cooperative financing and market access, promote data-driven agricultural planning. Number three, establish cooperative farming cluster, support the development of structured agricultural cluster for the crops, and the dedication cooperative financing window, creation low interest credit facility specifically for cooperative society through development finance institution. Number four, agro-processing storage facility, establish cooperative owned storage facility like silos, cold drum warehousing. At the last, market linkage and commercial integrations. So, conclusively, I invited that Kano State government strongly believe that empowering cooperative society, especially with the structured farming cluster, will unlock significant agricultural and economic potential. The state therefore call on the National Council on Cooperative Affairs to adopt and implement this proposal as part of national cooperative reform strategies. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments? There's a lady there.
Good day. My name is Chef Khadija Idris Suleiman from Kano State. Mine is a comment, not a question. For agriculture, I've seen a lot of empowerment and support coming directly to farmers. I don't know, we in the industry of food, that is food processing, that is cooking food to people, what is our on-site or what is our take in this Ministry of Agriculture? Are we not part of it? Please, I want to be clear. Then secondly, they have already mentioned it. We need a lot of training regarding this cooperative. We want to understand what does it really entails. Will it be a permanent or compulsory training for each and everyone coming to register for cooperative? Because actually it's just for you to pay, get the certificate and go. And a lot of people understand that when they say cooperative, they mean that you get empowerment entirely, like giving things, giving products. Because actually, especially in the north, we need more elaboration on this cooperative, because as I am here today, I've realized it's not all about giving products or support. It entails a lot of things. I hope my question will be answered. Thank you.
Well, I will commend you for your... Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Farida Ahmed Tahir from Kano as well. So mine is a question, actually. So I want to know, why is it that the registrations that we have of the cooperative societies, some federal government agencies don't accept these certificates? For instance, NAFDAC. They are saying that we need to register with the CAC to be able to obtain that. So is it that this cooperative registration that we have is substandard, or why do they keep rejecting the this category of registration that we have in processing NAFDAC for our members? Because it's a major challenge. People that are into production, they come to bank, for access to finance, and then these products don't have NAFDAC numbers. There's no bank that will grant that access to funding, so that at the end of the day, it doesn't constitute huge risk, especially when it comes to recoveries. So the NAFDAC registration is very, very important for our people to have, but then the major challenge is that the NAFDAC don't accept.
Thank you very much. Under the cooperative movements, their registrations is solely under the Federal Department of Cooperatives and the states, offices of cooperatives under the Ministry of Cooperatives or wherever ministry they fall in. Now, NAFDA is an independent agency that registers other cooperatives or other products based on what you are doing. Standardization. That's what NAFDA is doing. But more of cooperative is to ensure that members are carried along, and if there is any challenge, the cooperative is responsible to even assist them to overcome those challenges. But if you have a product that you are doing that falls under the mandate of Standard Organization of Nigeria or NAFDAC, you must be seen to fulfill those requirements before you are allowed to trade. Of course, it's Nigeria. Then the first speaker, the other speaker made mention that they are not part of the beneficiaries of most of those things that are being supported. Of course, we have bakery associations, and we have been working with them. They are processing, because bakery associations, they are producing breads and cakes. And those that are registered, we are working with government to ensure that they have subsidized inputs, particularly flour. We are working towards that. And we support flour mills with inputs to produce wheat that can be transformed to flour to make bread and cakes and whatever. So you need to register with our own cooperatives, and we register with our own state offices. In case we have inputs related to what you are doing, we are distributing, you will be one of those beneficiaries. I hope I'm clear.
Hold on, please.
My question is for the people that sell food by road and home, actually. Sometimes, yes, food like the hawkers, the ones that sell like awara, shinkapa, dawaki, all those people. Sometimes we wanted to help them with training, but for us to come and tell them, like, we want to support them, like, we want them to change, especially sometimes selling food by the gutter side or just giving unhealthy food to people, we really need something to support them. And I have been trying to process a lot of things for them, but I actually find out it's very hard to, like, which organization should I even go for support to do this training for them?
We have Sweden here. You can approach Sweden, but the onus does not only lie on the federal government. Some of those concerns that you raised fell under the mandate of the local government and the state government, because those are small traders or petty agribusiness that is taking place around the communities that are living there. You may not expect the federal government to come down there and say, because in that street that we are staying in Kano, that we have to provide services and training to those petty something. After all, they pay taxes to those local government and the state government, and they should get some kind of support for paying those taxes along those lanes. So, but we will continue to talk and see how we are going to improve this, because one of the mandates of this ministry is to ensure that the food we eat is safe. Safety, food safety is our concern, and nutrition food is our concern. So we are working towards that to ensure that safety becomes an important component of the food we eat and the food we sell. So we'll work with you. At the end of this conference, you will register with them, talk to them. They will find a way of how we are going to address some of those concerns. We are actually concerned that food vendors around the streets keep moving and the food is not safe for human consumption. And it's one of the reasons why you have some health challenges with some of us. We eat food that are poisoned and infected by the streets, which is not good. Thank you very much. So, Kano, we commend you for your memo and your strategies. Of course, Kano is one of the states that is producing food. Tomato, we have recently supported farmers that had challenge on tomato production and sugarcane in Kano. And we want to open the door that if there are challenges around those areas, you get across to us through the state office and the federal Ministry of Agriculture, where we'll be able to intervene in a small way we'll be able to do. Thank you very much. The next memo is Plateau State. Is Plateau State here? So we'll give you 2 minutes because we are running out of time. We have about 15 memos left.
Go. Where? Where? My name is Elizabeth Moses Bott, the Director of Cooperative Society in Plateau State. The purpose of this memo is to inform Council of implementation of strategies for the revitalization and reposition of the cooperatives in Plateau State. Because of time, I have strategies implemented because of our time, I will not be able to mention that. My prayer, Council is invited to know that revitalizing the cooperative sector necessitates increased government commitment, especially in areas such as cooperative education, inspection, and institutional development. 2, digital transformation. Implement a digital transformation strategy for the cooperative by deploying a cooperative-specific mobile application or integrating with fintechs application to enable real-time transaction. Leverage data analytics to assess credit risks and tailor
loans production to members' needs. 3, governance and management. Increase in forced term limits and professional oversight for executive committee members. Adopt transparent accounting standard, e.g. IFRS for MSEs. Establish independent audit committee to reduce fraud risks. 4, market leakages. Form alliance with agribusiness stakeholders, exporters, and retail chain to secure better price for members' products. Participate in government procurement programs that reserve quotas for cooperatives. Develop cooperative branding, e.g., certified Nigeria cooperative products to differentiate in the marketplace. 5, financial strengthening. Strengthen capital through members' shares subscription and concessional loans from Development Bank. Leverage digital payment platform to improve member contributions and loan disbursement while monitoring entrepreneurial practice. The fifth one, government support. The government financial and logistical support remain insufficient, hindering the scope and effectiveness of capacity building, data management, and field operation necessary for modern cooperative system. Regulatory alignment. Collaborate with cooperative society registrar to streamline registration, reporting, and compliance procedures. State cooperative law. The state cooperative law is necessary tool that will guide operation of cooperative societies. Though the process has begun, but along the way, it got stalled at the state legislative arm of government. Steps are being taken to ensure the process continuation. IPPIS, Federal Workers Cooperative have suffered major setbacks as a result of the use of IPPIS as tool for payment of salaries. Some of the indebtedness by the federal government to the affected cooperatives are yet uncleared. Women, youth in cooperative. These groups are the most vulnerable in society. Therefore, there should be deliberate efforts in creating awareness for the need to bring them together for empowerment through any social grant intervention. Cooperative Development Bank. The establishment of a cooperative development bank will be a catalyst to boosting the economic status of cooperators. This can be made possible through pooling resources together to co-own the bank. Yearly subvention. Cooperative will perform much better if they are supported by government through a yearly subvention which will take care of administrative costs. Mobility. Cooperative at the state level is incapacitated in the area of mobility to help move both within and across the nation for the various programs that are planned on a yearly basis. The apex body is non-governmental, non-profit making, hence difficult to access any. Approval. 1, endorsement of digital transformation initiatives for improved cooperative monitoring, reporting, and database management in Plateau State. 2, provision of increased government support, technical, financial, and institutional to facilitate field operations, cooperative inspection, database management, and revitalization exercise. 3, the immediate release of withhold cooperative remittance to the affected bodies, which is as a result of IPPIS in inadequacies. 4, the mandatory establishment of both the women and youth wings of the cooperative across the nation. Government should also ensure supporting them through programs that will empower them for self-sustenance. The enactment of law establishment cooperative development bank with the aim of boosting the economic activities of cooperative, thereby saving them from the exorbitant charges from conventional banks. Government should make provision for intervening in the operation of cooperatives through a yearly subvention to strengthen their bond. Provision of vehicles for cooperative departments for ease of inspection, supervision, awareness, and information of cooperative at the grassroots. The adoption of coastal bus for each cooperative federation across the country to ease transportation challenges. Lack of manpower in most of the states. Civil Service Commission of each state should be able to employ staff that have gone for cooperative courses. There should be a time frame for a review of Nigeria Cooperative Act. Government should make sure that only active cooperative society that are registered...
You have taken more than your time.
Sorry.
You have taken more than your time.
Conclusion. Revitalizing cooperative society is not merely about injecting capital. It requires re-engineering them to be transparent, digitally enabled, and market-oriented while preserving the core principle of member ownership. With improved government adoption of digital tools and stronger market linkages, cooperative can reclaim their roles as catalysts for inclusive economic growth in Plateau State and across Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Plateau State. Sometimes I wonder the way we make these presentations. You are in charge of cooperatives department in the state. And sometimes you want to upload the challenges you have to the federal. Will the federal be able to shoulder those responsibilities? Obviously, no. You should be talking to your state government, to your state national assembly on some of these challenges that you have, that they can come to your rescue. Of course, I pick one of those concerns that there should be capacity building and recruitment. We are also concerned at the federal level that there is manpower challenge in the various cooperative departments. There has not been consistent recruitment of people who will be manning cooperatives department from the local government to the state government to the federal government and in each of the zones, so that some of these cooperative movements can easily approach those offices or officers for kind of advice or counseling, or in fact even support. So to me, what you have said is in line with the other three memos that we are trying to reform cooperatives. But when you are talking about
for council to recommend that you should be given a bus, you should be given a vehicle, is very difficult. It's left to you to discuss with your state government to see how your state government is going to support you. Now at the federal level, we may be able to manage to discuss with some of the partners. How are they going to come in the reform system? How are they going to support cooperatives in the state, even with vehicles, with motorcycles, with Ncca napep, to help you move your produce from the farm to the nearby market? And even going forward with even some equipment that will improve your productivity. It could be processing machines, like somebody has raised concern here. So we will take one of your prayers that there is the need to recruit, to bring back recruitment process in a sustainable way in the federal system and in the cooperative line. Thank you very much. And the review of the act is ongoing. The reform is going to address it, and the act will be reviewed based on the reform that is ongoing. Happily, the two ministers that we have in the ministry, they were members of the National Assembly. And they have started the approach. By the time we get to the National Assembly, it will be given the due attention it deserves. Thank you very much. So I think we have time challenge, and we have to consider that it's not easy to keep human beings to sit for more than 2 hours sitting. It's not advisable. So we have to move very fast. The memos that are left are from Rivers, Sokoto, Taraba, Yobe, and Zamfara. And they are almost talking the same thing. So I will invite them to come and tell us the prayers, if they are here. So River State. Is River State here? Come and tell us your prayers. Sokoto is the next. Taraba, Yobe, Zamfara State.
Coop, coop, coop. Coop, coop, coop. We are here, there, everywhere. The chairman, sir, all other protocols duly observed. I am Dr. Mrs. Elizabeth Chidiwike, Director, Cooperative Rivers State. Because of time, just like what the chairman said, I'll just go straight to the prayers. Now, number one, the need to establish cooperative college in the South-South region, like in other, thank you, sir. Like in other geopolitical zones in the country. More especially, we appeal that the college should be established in Rivers State, knowing that Rivers State is like a central to the South-South states. Number two, the provision of vehicles to facilitate the operations of cooperative activity in the states. Number three, grant credit facility for cooperative business expansion, especially for those that have really shown capacity, that have really shown that they are working, they have really shown that they are active in all their businesses. Number four, capacity building through training to enable cooperative leaders and other cooperators to update their knowledge on cooperative management and the principles and practices of cooperative operations. Number five, strong legal framework to prosecute mismanagement of cooperative funds by fraudulent management committee or other members of the cooperative society. I think this is important because most managements of a cooperative, once they go in and commit fraud, they just feel, oh, it's arbitration. Let's do arbitration, and after arbitration, award. Who cares for the enforcement? So government, the national
Council for Cooperative Affairs should fashion out, a strong punishment, so that thinking of the punishment alone that you will get, the idea of committing fraud in cooperative will be reduced. Then lastly, putting a supportive legal framework for a revitalization of cooperative certificates after 5 years. No, there are some cooperative society after registering, maybe for donkey years, maybe they try to come up a year or two, but for donkey years, they just drop their cooperative certificate. And most times, we don't really know these ones that are really active. So if we revitalize this certificate in 5 years, we'll begin to fish out the ones that are really active. And in so doing, it gives them that sense of belonging to really participate, to be active, up and doing, and not just to register and then drop our cooperative certificates. Thank you so much.
River State, thank you. I will recommend to the council that government should establish